Why, hello, necromancers. Sorry, YouTube, please don't flag my video. We are doing the Inarius set dungeon here, and I'm also going to explain how to complete it with the Mastery achievement. You don't come to Bannock 13 just for some measly achievement on completing the set dungeon regularly. You come here for your Mastery achievement, and that is what we're going to do. I'm going to start off with the objectives so I can explain some of the changes that I've made to optimize the character for this set dungeon. So the two primary objectives are rip bones from 100 enemies with bone armor. This is ultra easy, just find a big pack, blood rush into it, cast bone armor, and done until you get 100 enemies. This will also kill the enemies most likely, so just be careful, because the second objective is kill 200 enemies that are afflicted by a bone armor tornado. So as we cast bone armor, we're going to gain the tornado, and we've got to keep an eye on the objectives and make sure they're quite even throughout the set dungeon. So if we're killing too many enemies with bone armor, we want to back off and then just start killing enemies with bone armor tornado. And that's pretty much how we're going to kill all the enemies. You're not really going to be using other skills whatsoever other than just casting bone armor in big packs to try and get that primary achievement up, and then we're going to be running around with bone armor tornado killing enemies that way. Now the problem is that with bone armor tornado we have to kill enemies that are afflicted by bone armor tornado. So in order to do that, we need to decrease some damage that we're doing, because I find that if you're at a reasonably high Paragon level, you're doing way too much damage and enemies are dying too quickly. So there's an easy solution to that. We're going to go to Paragon Points now. And what I've done here in Paragon Points is I've reset both core and offense completely. With offense, I don't have any points in there whatsoever. With core, I've reset it, but I've made sure that with our movement speed, we want to be capped at 25% total. So 13 here, 12% on my boots gives us 25. Movement speed is important as always. Now let's start talking about the gear. We're using 6 pieces of the Inarius set: the helm, the chest, the pants, the boots, the shoulders, and the gloves. We've got Traveler's Pledge with the Compass Rose. We're using Unity, and we obviously have Unity equipped on our follower as well, but for this set dungeon, survivability isn't an issue. I've just left it there because, it doesn't affect us getting the Mastery achievement here at all. Ancient Path and Defenders for the braces. The belt, we're using Dainty's Binding and Raylena's Shadow Hook for the weapon. The gems we're using are Diamond Gem for the helm, the Topaz Intelligence gems everywhere else. The jewelry, legendary gems we're using are Bane of the Trapped, Mirenay, Teardrop of the Star Weaver, and Pain Enhancer. Canai's Cube, as always, we go through. We're using trag'oul's Corroded Fang in the weapon slot, the armor slot, Corpse Whisperer, Pauldrons, and Jewelry, Crispin's Sentence. On to the skills. We're using Grim Scythe with Cursed Scythe, Blood Rush with Potency. This is definitely handy for this set dungeon. We can Blood Rush into packs, and it helps us with mobility and speed increases. Corpse Lance with Brittle Touch, not going to be using this that much. Bone Armor with Dislocation, obviously one of the primary objectives. We're going to be using this a lot, making sure we get 100. Decrepify with Dizzying Curse, definitely can use this to slow down enemies and decrease damage, but yeah, it's not really that necessary for this set dungeon either. Land of the Dead we're not using at all. And passives, Overwhelming Essence, Final Service, Spreading Malediction, and Standalone. Well, I've spoken about this set dungeon enough. We're going to have to head on over there now, and I'll show y'all how to do your Mastery achievement. We open up our map. We want to make sure that we're in Act 1, and we head over to the Drowned Temple here. Once we're here, we want to head down to the door here. And just head on over to where you see the portal there. Now the portal won't appear for you because I was here and I just cleared the way to show you guys to make it nice, easy and quick. But once you get down here, poof, it'll appear. Just make sure that you have 6 pieces of Inarius armor equipped. If you don't have 6 pieces, or at least 5 with the Ring of Royal Grandeur in your Canai's Cube, then it's not going to appear. I keep getting questions all the time, how come set dungeon portal's not appearing? It's because most of the time you won't have your 6 pieces equipped. If you have your 6 pieces equipped, it'll definitely appear. Now let's head on in and do this. We've gone through the objectives already. You can read through them again for yourself if you want to. However, I'm not going to. I'm going to go in there and complete this Mastery, and I'm going to help you all do it too. Okay, so once we're in, we have plenty of time to complete this. Time is not an issue, like some other set dungeons. Decrepify, use bone armor, enemies die, like I mentioned. And then we just move around with our tornado here, making sure that enemies are affected by it. and that will also kill them. We find more enemies. Again, bone armor will kill a lot of them, and we keep an eye on our primary objectives to our right there, making sure they're, you know, roughly about even. We don't want to do too much more of one than the other, and this will help us to complete the set dungeon with mastery. Like I said, take your time. We've got plenty of time here, boys and girls. And what I like to do is, if bone armor's on cooldown, that's why I kind of avoid enemies for a while, then go back in and get the bone armor. And every now and then I might do like a grim scythe or something like that if enemies come too close, but your survivability really isn't an issue. So we're going well so far. We're halfway through both primary objectives. A little more than halfway, which is good. And we're pretty even so far as well. But like I said, this is ultra easy. Like you really don't need to concentrate that much. Just keep an eye and make sure that, you know, they're both up there. And the bone tornado does everything else for you. There's no rush. Just make sure, like, instead of just killing enemies for, you know, for no reason and wasting away your opportunities to get more primary objective stuff done, you just, you know, move away from enemies, wait for your bone armor cooldown, and once it's up and active, you can go on in and use it. That's why sometimes you see me sort of just back away, because I'm waiting for my cooldown. I don't want to kill enemies for no reason. Every enemy we kill, we want to make sure that we utilize those deaths, those kills, for our primary objectives. Ain't gonna kill enemies for nothing in this set dungeon. And if you do that, you won't have an issue. That was pretty much the only problem I found on my first playthrough of this set dungeon. I killed everything, and the primary objectives were nowhere near complete. So I backed off. You know, you slow down. There's plenty of time. Just calm down, Bannock. We're coming close to completing. Alright, we got one. Primary objective 2 is done. We've just got to rip some more bones out of enemies. And as you can see, the map is nearly fully uncovered, so it's close. Like, you really have to pay attention to your primary objectives, and that's why I'm running away now. So bone armor is active and I can use it. Boom! There we go, we're done now. Now we just have to finish off the set dungeon. We're gonna get our mastery. 11 more monsters to kill. Now we can relax. Now we can move. Alright, so there's a blacked out area here where I'm sure there should be some monsters. No. There's another blacked out area up there. There'll be 9 there. That's where they are. And as you can see, we've got, you know, a minute 25 seconds. Plenty of time. We're cruising. We're cruising now. One more. There we go. Mastery done. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going to do the Demon Hunter Natalia set now. I'm playing a Demon Hunter in Season 12, so I'm going to update the Natalia set dungeon guide. I did one a long time ago, and I want to redo it. I don't think there's many changes in it, but the armor sets themselves have been changed a lot, especially now in patch 2.6.1 during Season 12. Armor sets have changed a lot, so I'm going to redo probably all of the set dungeons for the Demon Hunter as I play through Season 12, and you can definitely expect a lot more guides with the Demon Hunter and the Necromancer. I still have to check out the Pestilence set, so I'll do a build video for that, and also followed by the set dungeon as usual, which I always try and do those two pretty close together. I did a movie review recently on Cube from 1997, which people reacted quite well to, and they wanted me to watch the sequel, so I've done that. I've watched the sequel, so I'm going to be reviewing that real soon as well. So please stay tuned. Lots of content coming. I keep promising content, and now I am delivering. As always, that button is coming up. Subscribing here is optional. If you want to see this ugly hairy face a lot more often, then please, by all means, subscribe. Otherwise, just come back and visit. I'll be happy with that.